Hello, this is Mitch King with Trade Stocks America with the daily stock report for June 1st, Monday evening, 2009. Dow Jones was up 2.6% today, clearly making a new high. This kind of pattern where you have a nice spike up is usually a very good sign for weeks to come on an uptrend. So the buy and dip pattern is definitely in full force now. Here's the Nasdaq Composite, definitely stronger, clearly above this point right here where the resistance previously was. So this new spike up today clearly sets a new uptrend, or what we call a new leg up. And here's the S&P 500 lagging the Nasdaq Composite a little bit. Let's take a look at a few stocks that we've been following. The short position on Ciena was covered today or closed. I had a little suspicion that this wanted to move up, so that was covered. The other short was BCRX, which is still short. That's that second time that we've shorted this one. Again, the first time was here, and it looks like we're trying to short this again, and it may continue down here. We're looking for about 3 1/4, or we're not stuck to any specific number except to say that we're going to have probably a couple more down days at which we should be consider looking to cover that short position. Goldman Sachs still on a nice steady uptrend. No big moves today. Let's move on to McDermott. Up a little bit today, up about 3%, still steadily moving up. MasterCard entered a small long position, I believe, on Friday. And natural gas, NGS, is really moving up sharply. Let's take a little bigger look at this one. Real steep uptrend that it's turning into. Surprising that this gas stock and oils are on fire like this after so long, but that's the way the market works. Here's FCX, the second up day above that higher high. So we're on a new uptrend on this one here. Long position here. ASH finally got going today. Finally just made a new high. It's been languishing around for almost a month. Been sitting on the sidelines for a while. Take a look at Baidu here, resuming a real nice steep uptrend here. Up 8.4% today. And remember, this is one of the stocks that I really like because this has been going up since January really steadily. And you had a little pullback, and that we've been looking at this in here to start watching this, and now we're on the uptrend here. Here's ACL. That was in the port here last night, or a couple of nights ago. Here's BBD. It's a foreign bank. Hit a higher high today. Out of the last several days, still steadily moving up. Here's Barclays Banks. Also moved up today real steadily. Monsanto was a stock that peaked today at 84.35 and dropped about over $3, $3.50 here on a drop. So I still think this is going to be an uptrend worth holding on to. I doubt this is going to fall apart and get into a real big problem. Let's take a look at Joy Global. This is the infrastructure stock or farm and construction machinery that should benefit. We see commodities moving up. We know this Obama infrastructure build out is probably going to benefit some of these manufacturers who make equipment. Here's EPE, another oil stock, steadily up. Now on the long position here, PBR, Petrobras, another oil stock. And TLT dropped quite a bit today. A little bit of a concern, but I don't think, we're underwater on this because we came in there at 92.50 a couple of days ago, and this dropped down 3% here, 3.2% today. Probably bounces up. Looking for this to move off this low. Would be a little bit of a problem if it makes a lower low. So keep an eye on that, but I don't think this is going to be a real problem. I think this is a real good buy for an intermediate. Probably curves up like this and starts to flatten out. Something like that is what I'm looking for. Here's a swing trade stock that we're starting to look at as a potential short sale. This was recommended by an analyst on a website here on Friday. This has moved up 32% today. This came from $5.25 right here on Friday. That was supposed to be an arrow there on Friday, and we hit a high of 947 today, and we're thinking that this might continue up tomorrow. This is not a stock to be buying. Let it play itself out. There's a small float. The stock moves. This stock really moves when any recommendation or sell recommendation is given on this. So I'd let this play itself out and let it turn down before you start opening a short position or selling any calls short or buying any puts. A little low price for my taste to be buying puts. I like selling these calls short. Starting to look at Apple here as a potential long position, as well as Google, and these are both hitting higher highs, so these are worth a small amount of money on the long side. Put the odds in your favor, and you guys take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow.